Before school had even started, we came together with a few accommodations for me since I have a medical condition that physically prevents me from wearing a mask. Their options were either A, I can suck it up and put a mask on and go inside, which isn't an option for me because every time I wear a mask, I end up in the hospital. B, go with their accommodations. They added in new ones that said I can only take short mask breaks, which also isn't an option for me. I can just not go to school.
If you had to make any suggestions to someone your age or someone that's going through something that you're going through,
My words would definitely be stay strong. No matter how horrible of a thing they call you, no matter how badly they push you around, it's going to be worth it in the end because you're free.
welcome to the show, Melanie. So excited. You were telling me when you were walking around here a little bit about your story and kind of what you went through. We had an interview with someone that's running for office in Washington. So you're from the state of Washington. Tell me a little bit about the school district and school and what you had to kind of deal with.
Yeah, so before school had even started, I got together with my 504 team, and we came together with a few accommodations for me since I have a medical condition that physically prevents me from wearing a mask. And we decided that I would be completely segregated from the rest of the school population. I would have different passing periods. I'd come and leave school at different times. I'd sit in the back of the classroom. I'd carry papers with me so that they knew that I had a reason to be maskless. And as offensive as the papers were and the segregation was, like, as a child coming from Jewish heritage, it kind of like,
Right.
it hit home, you know? So we agreed to it because it was either that or I couldn't go to school at all. So we agreed to it, and when the first day of school comes around, they don't let me in at all. Yeah.
That's crazy. So what did they make you do?
So their options were either A, I can suck it up and put a mask on and go inside, which isn't an option for me because every time I wear a mask, I end up in the hospital. I could either B, go with their accommodations, which I had originally planned on doing, but for some reason they added in new ones that said I can only take short mask breaks, which also isn't an option for me. Or B, I can just not go to school. I was taken out of my advanced classes. I applied for the SMT program, which is science, math, and technology. They took me out of my advanced classes and put me into a credit recovery class for seniors who are failing high school. So I sit in this 3-wall plexiglass box, and I get on a virtual course where I learn about adjectives and nouns all day.
So let me get this straight. You're sitting in a plexiglass, like a box. And are you the only one that has to do this?
Yeah.
That is really crazy. When you first had to go in that box, what was your thoughts? What was going through your head when this was first going on and you had to go in there?
The first time I sat down at my desk, I felt like I was in one of those movies where the cellmate is on one side of the glass and their visitors on the other side
Right.
with the phone.
How did that help you when in regards to learning? Was that were you able to really retain information and learn anything by sitting in something like that?
So the thing about the plexiglass is it's really reflective.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere you look, you see something, and that's really distracting. Not to mention the courses that I'm taking in that class aren't really courses for my level. I learned what adjectives and nouns are when I was in 3rd grade. I don't really need to learn about that again.
Right. So is it like this in Washington? Is this special for your school district, or is it pretty strict throughout the state when it comes to mask mandates and all that stuff?
So I think it's pretty throughout the state, unless you're in a homeschooling program or sometimes a private school. But most Washington public schools, especially mine, are very liberal populated.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to rebel against the mask mandates there.
So what are you doing now? So now that this has all happened, we're on Christmas break. Are you still going back to school? But what's happening now?
So currently we are working on getting me an IEP so that my 504 can be more strictly followed legally. I haven't been to school all year.
Wow.
I've just been at home. I'm gonna wait 1 or 2 months for the IEP to get set in stone, and then I'm probably gonna transfer schools.
Perfect. Where do you think you're going to transfer to?
I'm not quite sure yet. It's kind of hard to find a school that is still close enough.
Have you guys thought of homeschooling or charter school stuff? I know that's difficult. That's not for everyone, but
I
that's
know.
kind of difficult. But
Actually, I've thought about that before, and I'm not really sure that's for me, you know?
Right. I don't know if I personally could have done homeschooling. I'm very much a personable person. I like being around people, so I totally get it. I like to always end my episodes on the last questions and a question of hope. You know, your story is crazy. I hope that we find more solutions in it. But if you had to make any suggestions to someone your age or someone that's going through something that you're going through, what would you tell them and how to persevere through some crazy situation like this?
I think my words would definitely be stay strong.
Yeah.
No matter how horrible of a thing they call you, no matter how badly they push you around, no matter how many threats you receive, it's going to be worth it in the end because you're free and it's going to be worth it.
There is no price for freedom.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. This was a great story.
Thank you so much.